Get ready to watch a leftist college student get absolutely shredded by Vivek Ramaswamy as they debate the topic of illegal immigration. I think this is a very fascinating topic to witness being debated, in part because it's such an obvious issue. Like, there's such a clear, objective, right, correct, and moral answer to this, yet people seem to have all these ridiculous, weird arguments to intellectualize it, and even suggest that somehow they're the ones being compassionate by saying we should just let people in unchecked, run rampant in our country. It's absolutely insane. So with that being said, we're gonna get right to the clip, guys, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But first, do me a huge favor here. Like our video and share it around so we can keep bringing you guys this great, hard-hitting content. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
Hello.
Good to see you, man.
I think that mass deportation of 25 million immigrants is inhumane, and I would like to ask you how you would do that and go about that, or if you even agree with that.
So I do agree with the mass deportation of anybody who's in this country illegally, obviously. You got to draw the distinction between illegal and legal immigration. So here's the thing, and I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. Your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. And if you're a lawbreaker, you need to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law when it comes to illegal immigration. Go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt you. Thank you. I think that our legal immigration process takes way too long, and it motivates people to come here illegally. It takes, on average, about 10 years.
If we don't like the law, so I'm not gonna push you. There's a lot that's broken with our legal immigration system in all directions.
Sure.
That is not an excuse for breaking the law to enter this country. Okay, I'll tell you what's inhumane. Fentanyl pouring across our southern border, killing the kids of including the young mother who actually asked that question earlier.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry for her loss. Obviously, I'm not in support of fentanyl.
And it's a consequence of the border policies.
No, can I tell you something?
Do you agree with that?
No, it's not.
You don't agree it's a consequence of the border policies?
No, I don't believe that. Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because about 88% of the fentanyl that is coming in through the Mexican border is from legal immigrants or legal American citizens. And that's a fact.
By the cartels that have left it open.
No, that's not cartels.
It's cartel. It absolutely is.
Look it up.
It's a network. It's synthetic fentanyl. It's not even actual like original fentanyl. It's synthetic fentanyl made by Mexican drug cartels transported by our southern border customers.
Okay, first of all, I don't believe for a second that this is remotely true, but let's just say for the sake of argument that it is true. The vast majority of fentanyl coming through the US border is actually the result of people who are legally in the United States and not illegal immigrants. Guess what? That doesn't really change anything. It doesn't change the morality of the argument or anything like that. For one simple reason, any crime and especially any death of an American that is caused by an illegal immigrant is a victimization or tragic death that wouldn't have occurred in the first place had we had our border secured and not let that person in. It is that simple. It doesn't matter if Americans are doing this much of drug dealing, doesn't matter if illegal immigrants are doing that much drug dealing. That fact will always remain the same no matter what the statistical outcomes are. And that's why I really caution people against using the facts and the data and the studies and the statistics to make an argument, because statistics can be easily manipulated to make an argument and suit agendas in all sorts of directions, all right? Whether it's a right-wing agenda, a left-wing agenda, Satan's agenda, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter. There's a great saying that goes something like, there are three types of liars: liars, damn liars, and statisticians. I always try to remind myself of that when I hear about statistics and how they change the argument of something.
Whatever it is, I urge everyone to look it up right now. 80% of the fentanyl coming over the Mexican border is from legal American citizens.
So let's just talk about the 20%. That's still enough to kill 20,000 Americans
obviously,
every year.
I don't agree with. Yeah. Again, I'm not trying to say I'm in support of anyone dying. I'm not saying that.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
If somebody breaks the law, should they be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law?
Well, I think if an illegal immigrant comes over here and they break the law and kill an American citizen, they should be deported.
Do you agree that there are people who should be able to enter this country based on merit who are unable to enter it today?
Yeah, because of our policies. Yeah.
And so is it fair that somebody who entered this country illegally is now somehow being rewarded with the benefits of this country when people who tried to follow the law are the ones penalized? Is that humane?
They're not getting illegal immigrants can't get Medicare.
Illegal immigrants are absolutely getting government assistance.
No, they're not.
They're getting
just
massive.
Not.
So,
Yes, they are.
Illegal immigrants are staying.
What?
There's
coming over the border.
So I'll tell you right now. I got my first job. I got my first job in New York City in 2007. Sure. It was in the eve of the 08 crisis. When my parents would come to town, there would be hotels that we could not afford to have my own family stay in to visit me. as a natural-born citizen of this country
Yeah.
that are now being used to house illegal immigrants in the city of New York. There's government aid left and right. I went to the south side of Chicago, traditionally a left-leaning region, where they are actually being displaced from South Shore High School because they're using that as a source for housing illegals, giving away sneakers and baby formula that many people in that community couldn't access last year. So are illegal immigrants benefiting from the United States welfare state and government assistance? Absolutely they are. And I don't think that that's humane to the Americans who live here. I don't think it's humane to immigrants who are unable to lie.
And let's not get this twisted. It's not only, the innocent, non-crime committing illegal immigrants, even though by definition they've all committed a crime, as this guy is describing them, who are reaping these taxpayer benefits, a premise that he didn't even realize exists, but is in fact in play. Let's not forget that Laken Riley, the girl who was tragically violated in the most disgusting way possible and then murdered by an illegal immigrant, her killer was funded by the Biden-Harris administration with our taxpayer dollars. Yes, they paid for his plane flight to fly to Georgia, where he then went and committed that disgusting and heinous crime. And I'm sure this guy's response would be, well, somebody who does that, that's terrible, just deport them. Okay, what if we just don't let them in this country in the first place so that crime never happens? I think that's a little bit preferable than taking care of them after they already committed the heinous crime, when it's too late to stop it from happening. What I'm saying, I think, is common sense, but many people will call me racist for saying it. Why? I'm really not quite sure. You guys tell me.
You don't know. I want to say this about immigration. We got two questions.
Can I say one? I just
want to make one point because it's a fact. The number one human attribute that our current immigration system rewards is not your ability to work hard. It's not your intelligence. It's not your love of this country. It's not whether you can speak English. The number one human attribute that our current immigration system rewards is your willingness to lie to the U.S. government. If you lie, you get in. If you don't lie, if you say that, okay, well, I can't in good conscience tell you that I'm facing persecution to check the box of asylum. If you're an honest person, you're not rewarded. If you're a dishonest person, you are rewarded. So it is no accident that people whose first act of entering this country breaks the law and they lie while doing it tend to continue to commit more crimes while they're already here, which is happening.
I don't think those people should even be in a place to lie, because we have sanctions on Venezuela, and a lot of Venezuelans are going through hardship and they want to come here. And that's
It's not our job to take them. It's not our job to take them.
But we have sanctions on them. It's a direct result of our policy towards Venezuela.
Well, Venezuela's actually had effectively sanctions on the United States of America in the way they've actually treated us and deported their criminals to the U.S. without really being
Is there any
paid
evidence of
price
that,
for it.
the criminals coming over?
Absolutely.
But
Venezuelan criminals come to the United States over the last 4 years.
Tell you a
tens
fact?
of thousands, yeah.
Can I tell you a fact? An illegal immigrant is 60% less likely to commit a crime than a natural-born citizen, and that's a fact. If you look it up,
it's by definition.
I can look it up right now. I can look it up.
It's by definition untrue because the first act of entering this country was a crime. It broke the law right out of the first place. So 100% of illegal immigrants committed a crime.
I don't think those.
There's a lot to unpack here. As far as what that guy said earlier about Venezuela and U.S. sanctions on them making them not do well, maybe it's the fact that Venezuela is a socialist country in which the state has seized basically all of the major industries. Has that thought ever crossed your mind? Maybe it's not just America's fault, or if it's even America's fault at all. That is. As far as this ridiculous question about, is there any evidence of Venezuelan criminals coming to the United States? Yeah, dude. Did you forget about, and maybe you just didn't see it because you're being propagandized, there was an armed takeover by a Venezuelan gang at an apartment complex in Denver, Colorado. What happened after that? Well, the mayor of the big blue city, as well as the many bad actors in the fake news media, actively lied and gaslit to the American people, said, oh, this is ridiculous. The right wing's just exaggerating. This didn't really happen. It's really not that bad. Yada, yada, yada. No, it happened. And it's bad, all right? That is unacceptable for anything like that to occur in the United States. It's just sickening to think about, honestly. All that to say, his little factoid misses the point. And yes, Vivek is right. They're all lawbreakers by definition. But anyways, let's just say we leave out the part that they illegally entered the United States. I go back to my original point. Any crime committed by an illegal immigrant in the United States is a crime that would not have happened had they not been here. Doesn't matter if they commit more than native-born Americans. Doesn't matter if they commit less than native-born Americans. That is really irrelevant to the argument.
Those people should even be in a place to commit a crime because of our inhumane immigration policies.
So what would be your alternative for how you deal with somebody who enters the country illegally, breaks the law while they're here? What should you actually do?
The United States takes more immigrants than any other country in the entire world. What exactly is inhumane about our immigration policy? Exactly. I'm kind of sick of hearing this kind of crap. Why is it that the United States has to carry slack and water for the rest of the world all the time? Haven't we taken care of our own citizens for once? Lord knows they're already suffering enough.
Not I would just like to say I'm not advocating for an open border. We
Okay.
need. No, I'm not.
So what do you want to do for somebody who entered this country illegally, is breaking the law while they're here? What should they do?
I think if you're working, which a lot of them are, we have 8 million illegal immigrants in the job force right now, and they are hardworking people. They are that's why I think we should make them legal. If they're working, it will drive up wages for everyone.
Here's why I'm opposed to making them legal. You then have rewarded the incentives for the kind of thing that we don't want to see more of in this country. So here's my view.
Well, people
if
who
you
are
want to
working-
follow the rules and do it the right way, we respect you.
Sure.
If not, we will return you to your country of origin, not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America is founded on the rule of law. That's where I land on it. And I think it's going to save our country for the long run. That's where I believe.
I just think we should invite hardworking individuals to. If you get a job, you should be a legal immigrant. You should be made legal, right?
I think you also need to speak the language, and you also need to be able to pledge
getting told
allegiance
to
the
wrap
country.
it up.
Thank you,
I'm
brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming.
Amen, Vivek. Amen. I don't know about you guys, but I am sick and tired of leftists who seem to care more about people of other countries than people in their own nation. I mean, just look at the Ukraine, for example. And by the way, many Republicans are guilty on this too, all right? So it's not an indictment on the left only, but we have sent over $200 billion to secure the border of a corrupt Eastern European nation, all while basically spending and doing virtually nothing for our own border. Honestly, what the hell? If you guys are as pissed off as I am about this, please be sure to comment below, hit the subscribe button, and follow us so we can keep unpacking more of these videos. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and God bless.